Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we have this 2023 Mercedes-Benz GLC 300 and we're going to do the lower lip chrome delete installation for this vehicle. So as you guys can see, this is how it looks before doing the installation on the lower lip, and this is how it looks after the installation. So we use the gloss black material, that way we black out the entire panel. If you like the product, the link for the product will be provided below. But with that being said, let's get started with the installation video. So before we start with the installation for the lower lip, we need to make sure we prep the whole entire panel. So in order to prep it, we need baby shampoo and water mixed together in a spray bottle. Once you have your solution, spray it onto a clean microfiber towel and make sure to start removing any contaminants that the panel may have. And once you're done cleaning the panel, make sure that everything's completely dry. That way the adhesive on the film is able to tack down to the panel. So we're going to start by installing the piece that goes on the lower section of the panel first. So just place the other side of the film to the lower section. That way it doesn't move or touch the ground when we're doing the installation on this end. And when it comes to the installation, you're going to align this section of the curve of the cutout to this section of the lower lip. And if you need to lift the film so you have more room, place it and work your way. So place it underneath. That way you cover the chrome. Now it's covering here. Follow along with the bottom section and you should have coverage right here as well. And then just do the same for the rest of the remaining section on the bottom. Just be careful not to rip the film and take your time aligning it. If you need to lift it and readjust it, you can. But just take your time, make sure you're aligning it to each cutout. So once you finish placing the entire panel to the lower section of the lip, the next thing to do is make sure you lift the film on the top to remove any fingers. So you are going to notice you may have fingers all over this top section. In order to remove them, you're going to have to lift the film, grab your squeegee, and slowly squeegee them down. So you're going to take your time going section by section, lifting the film, holding it in position, and tagging it down with your squeegee. So do this for the entire panel. You may need to apply heat around some areas where you may encounter fingers that are big, and in order to remove them, you need to apply heat to shrink those fingers, and then just continue with the rest. Just take your time, and if you need to readjust it, lift it, and then realign it. So once you finish installing the whole entire lower section of the lip, the last thing to do is apply heat all over the panel. Once you finish applying heat, we're going to trim off all the excess material we don't need. So take your time, find the gap in between the bumper and the actual chrome panel. That's where you would enter your blade. So for example here, you would insert it and trim it off as so. Just follow with the rest of the design. Go underneath, follow it. There's a gap where you can enter your blade and trim off the excess material. Just go all around, and then we move on to the next step, which is this upper piece here. Okay, so now we're moving on to the top piece that covers this section of the chrome. So with this one, place the film down. Once you place the film down, lift it carefully and align it to this section of the cutout and just follow it through. Make sure you're covering all of the chrome. Align it as you go and tack it down. And then just do the same for the other side. Lift it carefully. Use the top section as the guide in order to align it. and place it as you go. Once you place the film, grab your squeegee, tack everything down. With this one, you could tuck in underneath, since the grill here, there is a gap underneath here. So tuck in the film, or you could push the grill slightly in order to tuck in the film. And just do the same all across, help it tack down. And then once you tuck in everything, we're going to apply heat to help it tack down around the curve and seal the edges here and on the curve. And then once you're done, we should be good. If you do have excess material, trim it off, but most of the material should be able to tuck in underneath the panel. And then once this is done, we move on to the top piece. Okay, so for the next piece, for this one here, make sure you align it around the curve and make sure you align it where we left off as well. So place it around the curve, make sure it covers here, make sure you're covering underneath too. So lift it carefully and cover underneath here. Cover the curve, align it, should cover there. Lift it and make sure you're covering the top. Follow the top section until you reach it to this point. So everything is covered here. If you need to remove these fingers, just lift the film carefully. Lift the film carefully and bring it back down, just like that. Make sure you're covering all of the chrome. Grab your squeegee, start tacking everything down. Around this area here, apply a little bit of heat. That way we help it tack down around the curve and also help shrink these fingers that you may encounter on the curve. So apply heat around the curve and slowly apply pressure to help it tack down. And the reason why we applied heat is to release the tension that the film may have around the curve. And then once you apply heat, let the film cool down just a little bit and then use your finger to help it tack down around the curve. It should feel flat, no fingers or any creases on the curve, and then just finish off with the rest on this section. Hold the film, apply heat, grab your squeegee, and just tack everything down. Now with this one, you could tuck in the film underneath as well. So tuck in as much as you can in order to have more coverage. And once you tuck in everything, apply heat all over the film and then trim off any extra material around the edges here. There's a small gap on this section of the bumper. Trim off the extra material, remove it. And then the same steps that were done for this side, you would repeat it to the other end and then move on to the middle piece here. Okay, so with this one, start off from either side. Just make sure you align it from one end. You can overlap the film just a little bit and then use the top half as the guide in order to align the rest of the film. Once you place the film, grab your squeegee, start tagging everything down on the top area here. Make sure to remove all the air and then work on the middle section. Make sure when you're squeegeeing on the edges, hold the film down and tack it down, and do the same on this end. So hold it, pull down just a little bit and squeegee. And make sure to remove any air bubbles underneath the film. And once we tack down this whole flat area, now we need to tuck in the film underneath. So apply a little bit of heat, start from the middle. And once you apply heat around the area in the middle, grab your squeegee and tuck it underneath. So start from the middle, work your way to one side and then the other side. And with this one, you could tuck in the material underneath, and whatever you can't tuck in will be excess material and you could just trim it off. But you shouldn't have too much excess material since you're tucking in everything underneath the grill. And then do the same on this side, and then the last thing to do once you finish would be to post heat the entire panel. So once you finish with the whole installation for the lower lip, the last thing to do is to post heat the entire panel. So all you need is your heat gun or a blow dryer. Apply heat all over the panel. Make sure you apply heat evenly. That way we help the adhesive on the film activate faster. And then once you're done with this step, you're done with the installation. Thank you for choosing Bogar Tech Design. As a small business, your support means everything to us. If you loved your product, please drop a review. If you have questions or issues, don't forget to message us via email. Once again, thank you so much for the support from our family to yours. So that concludes the installation video for the lower front lip chrome delete installation for the 2023 Mercedes-Benz GLC 300. We hope that this video helped you guys out with the installation. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell. That way you don't miss any of our upcoming installation videos. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.